Thank you for coming. Thank you for accepting my
Good.
request.
Thanks for your patience. I'm so sorry it took me so long to sign into Skype.
It's okay, but you came finally. We got connected.
Finally.
Yeah,
Good to see you. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Everything is in my control, fortunately.
Glad to hear
And
that. Yeah.
yeah, and
All okay
how are
here
you?
too. Things are very well. Good in New York. We're entering fall. Lots of topsy turvy, but everything's okay. You might hear some drilling in the background. They're putting in some new internet service in the building. I live in a tall building.
Okay. So new connection.
Hopefully.
So I want to introduce you to my audience.
Absolutely.
So can you tell me about yourself to my audience and to the world who watches this video on YouTube?
It's my pleasure. So you and I met on Instagram, of course, and I'm involved in the world of books by way of being an actor by training, and I produce audiobooks. My name is Chris Solon or Christopher Solon, which is the same as my Facebook page and Instagram. Chris Solon, Audiobook Narrator, and I've been producing audiobooks for just under a year. I've been doing audio production for a bit longer than that, but I'm currently on my ninth title in production. I have seven, I think at least seven audiobooks in release, and ranging from the romance category to do it yourself and what else? Yeah, a lot of romance. Romance is popular. Uh, okay. I'll wait to see if we reconnect. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, it was uh, it was disturbance. I didn't hear you, the last few lines.
So just to say that I my background in New York is as an actor in theater, film, and in television, and I um, and as I mentioned earlier, I've been producing audiobooks for just under a year. So the
Okay.
titles that all appear under my name, Chris Solon or Christopher Solon, on Audible, Amazon, iTunes.
Okay, that's great, man. You're a multitasker.
Thanks. Yeah. No, what was that?
You're a multitasker, multi-talented.
Thank you for saying that. I hope it's true.
So, audiobooks, on which topic?
So romance has been since starting out as my own producer. Romance has been the category I chose because I was looking to learn how to connect with audiences, and I know that as a category, it's one of the most popular. Um, so my most recent release was a contemporary romance, what's categorically often called a slow burn romance, and it's about a single mother and her next door neighbor, who of course is a tough guy and a tattoo artist. And what was fun about that piece in particular was the author. Her name is Michelle Gross, and she wrote a book called 1% of You. And in the story, there's a child, and I think I'm correct in that she is 6. I think she ages from 6 to 7 years old, and maybe a little more. And her name is Lucy, but she's a precocious and funny child, and well written, very uh, um, um, nicely, finely etched characters who are true to life and very funny, and the sort of sweetness of being a single mom, reconnecting after having a difficult first marriage, and raising a kid on her own. finds a partner to share life with. So that was a nice one. And then prior to that, I'd done a series and started another series in the male romance category, which tends to be a little steamier and a little bit slightly more broadly drawn. But there were some finely edged characters in A.D. Ellis's series, The Blue Ridge Junction Boys, and that's a 3-book series that's been very popular on Audible, as well as the start of a series by J.J. Harper, who is a UK-based author, but she wanted, for some reason, she wanted an American voice to voice her series, which was called the Heavy Load series. Heavy Load refers to the manufacturing label that one of the main characters helps to establish, or that the characters help to establish. But my piece was called My Kind of Man, and that piece is written with very much of a British ear, but the characters are sort of universal, general American, and that's what I did for J.J. Harper. And most recently, there's a book that's about to be released for another popular Audible author whose name is Kai Brightly, Kiki Jested and Kai Brightly. There goes the drilling. And that series is, I believe, is called Love Me. I can't remember the name of the series, but my piece is called Love Me Sweet, and that's being released in the next day or two on Audible. Another romance in the MMF category, which is my first time doing one of those. So there you go.
So let me know why you are more into romance. Are you a romantic person?
I would say that's a good question, and one I wasn't expecting to answer. I don't necessarily think of myself as a romantic person, but I think I must be, because I've always been very drawn to romantic poetry, and romantic painting. The romantics, yeah, certainly in all areas of art. I love the Elegy in a Churchyard and David Friedrich Casper paintings, very romantic, very large in scale. I don't think of myself that way, but the reality is yes, I'm very interested in that, very drawn to it in the world of art. And romantic comedy, especially. If it's funny, I especially love it, but I like the dramatic as well.
Awesome. Right. So acting and narrating, which one will you choose if I want you to choose one?
Well, increasingly, I find I don't have much choice these days, because there aren't many stages to act on because of COVID, and I'm certainly not in New York for the foreseeable future. But I like to think of narrating as having very many acting possibilities, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm really increasingly enjoying it, and as I get more work, I'm throwing myself into it more and more as an actor, and enjoying it. Maybe more than anything, but I miss working with others. I miss working on stage and collaborating, yeah, I miss that.
So when you started acting?
Well, I started when I was small. I would say when I was probably around 10 years old. I think that was the first time I sort of got a taste of it. Doing plays at school and summer camp, getting into it, and then starting to feel serious about it and pursuing classes right around the same age with professional training, or child professional training, in the city where I grew up, and and then continuing just to do plays for most of my younger life. I definitely had periods of stopping and then restarting.
So, in all your audiobooks, do you use your own voice to explain it?
No. I'll very often use my own voice. Most of what I narrate sits right about here in this quality of voice, but very often, especially in a romance, and I'm portraying both main characters, I have to start at a range. So somewhere kind of maybe a little bit lower. It settles a little bit lower in my register. I might, if it's a male and female character, or even a male character, I'll distinguish one as a little bit lower and one as a little bit higher, a little bit having a little bit of a range that's a little bit maybe a little brighter, so that there's a difference between this one and this one, and they can talk to each other, and the listener is not confused. They understand who's talking, in addition to how much the author has helped to craft the conversation to sound like a natural dialogue. I also have a responsibility to make sure that I'm honoring both sides of the conversation as two distinct people. And then many other characters who drop in and out might have real funny characters, and like I might change their accents, or bring them into a different pitch, or if it's a kid, really kind of change their voices a lot. So I change my voice a lot when I'm narrating a complete story and a full-length story.
Oh my God. I have heard 3 to 4 sounds, different sounds from you right now.
Oh, you want to hear? You say you want to hear 3 to 4 sounds?
Yeah, I already heard.
Oh
If
yeah,
you
you
if
already
you
hear it. Yeah, I hope so. And then that one.
okay, so your voice is intimidating. If you use your voice to explain something which is horror, or which is something which suits for a villain in a movie, or which suits for a negative character.
I hope so. I hope so. I mean, that's part of the fun of it, and why, as an actor, I can enjoy that level of narration is to inhabit so many characters who are very far from me, very different from me.
But you have a strong bass voice.
Thank you. I don't often hear that. Well, that's not entirely true. I do. I have heard nice feedback about my voice, but I tend to not think of my voice itself being that interesting. But I can go to interesting places, and I can imitate sounds and other voices that I hear with some facility. Maybe not as well as some people, but mostly to my satisfaction, I can get there.
Can you tell more about your work?
So, well, one thing that I might say about my work is, while a huge part of it is the narration, and again, I'm learning. I really just started upgrading my studio. So I have during these COVID times, I just upgraded my equipment. Haven't started working with it yet, but audiences will start to hear a change in the quality of my studio production, and hopefully it'll just continue to go up and up. And I mention that because a part of what I do is in production is not just the narration. I'm actually the editor for the product that goes to Audible, and is sold through Amazon and iTunes. All the audiobooks are basically finished by me. They get a little bit of light finishing but they're essentially mastered and finished by me. So I'm doing a lot of listening, spending a lot of time with these headphones, closed back headphones on, narrating, or listening to my narration, and editing it to match exactly what the author has written, as well as and correcting the pacing, making sure that everything flows in the way that the author, that I believe that the author intended for you, the listener, to hear the story, and that hammering. Just a
So,
bonus. Yeah.
so only romance or any other genres?
For the moment, while I have done some do-it-yourself work, which is to say nonfiction in the area of information and manuals, produced in a different, produced under different auspices, different production. I've done quite a bit of that in under different auspices, but as me, as Chris Solon, the audiobook narrator, I realize I've only done the romance genre so far. That doesn't mean it won't stay that way for very long. I'm currently finishing up a romance mystery thriller. So I've really been enjoying that in terms of tone and pace. So I would say I'm looking forward to, and certainly hoping and expecting to do much more in the area of romance, thriller, very interested in science fiction, and hope to be doing some sci-fi and other kinds of adventures like that.
So what are your upcoming projects?
So the current project is there is another piece for A.D. Ellis, which is a standalone mystery thriller called Buried Secrets. And Buried Secrets that I expect to see finished in early October. So that would probably be released in early November on Audible, and then another a very funny, sexy romance in the it's in that I forget what they call this category. It's like animal people who act like animals category, which is definitely has a sense of humor, but it is a romance, and typically these authors are known for male female romance, and they definitely have a sense of humor and a fun following, who's a dedicated following who likes the way they tell their stories, and that is called. Or will be called. Actually, it's been released on. The book is released, and it's called "You've Got to Be Kitten Me," as in Kitten, the cat kitten. You've got to be kitten me.
Okay, what did it mean? Kitten means?
Meaning, like, so the typical the expression is in English, and particularly in American English, we say, "You've got to be kidding me," meaning like you're not serious. You're joking me. You're putting me on. And then in wordplay, this author has changed it to, because you're kidding me sounds like the word kitten, which is a baby cat. So it's "you've got to be kidding me," and one of the characters likes to act as a cat, and another acts more as a dog, and so you have some of these ideas at play, and it's funny, and it has a lot of that kind of humor and sexual humor that's intended to be part of the tropes that are popular in that kind of storytelling, and it's and I'm really just starting prep on that, but that appears to be very well done and interesting. So I'm looking forward to that one. You've got to be kidding me.
So how's your work going on right now?
Good. I mean, at the moment, with these guys working in my stairwell, I'm a little bit slowed down until they're finished, but hopefully that's going to be done this week. And production's been busy. So,
have you seen any of my previous videos?
Yes, I have. Very, very delightful. I love what you're doing, and I think it's so much fun to have you in particular, but folks but doing what you're doing, and you in particular, really, carrying on that kind of dialogue, the kinds of conversations with authors and others in the industry, just to expand the conversation.
So, do you have anything to say to the people who watch this video from anywhere on this planet?
I mostly just want to say thank you for tuning in and for listening, and I hope you get to enjoy some of my work. But mostly, I want to say to anyone in America, of course, vote, stay safe everywhere in the world, and peace. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I put this video on my YouTube channel with your permission?
Yes, you may. Thanks for asking.
Yeah. Thank
My
you
pleasure.
so much, Chris. Keep going. Keep smiling
So,
and be
very
positive.
much appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
Yeah. Take care.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.